It's a fantastic story. And Vivas, I would love for you throughout the course of this wonderful chat that I'm having with you to please share whatever little anecdotes that you come across that comes to your mind. Please do share. So now Vivas, looking at MS Dhoni now, I would like to know from you. I think my voice is echoing a bit over there. Is everything okay over there?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay, great. So, what does Dhoni mean for CSK? Because see, Vivas, we from the outside we hear, and when I say outside means so you're also a fan. I'm also a fan, but obviously you have followed CSK much closer than me and many other probably viewers who are watching this. Um, so for because we feel that Dhoni is only there simply for the commercial reasons for CSK. So is that just that is the purpose that Dhoni, even at this age, when he has retired from international cricket almost 6 to 7 years ago, and he's still playing IPL, and so what is it that CSK still values in Dhoni for him to continue?
So, before I answer your question, I want to say something. And literally, I wasn't prepared for this question, by the way. Huh?
Mhm.
I genuinely wasn't prepared for this question. I met somebody who said, I'm from Jharkhand, okay? And I'm going to be honest about it. I love Madras, and I know we all call it Chennai Super Kings. I'm from Madras, and I always say Madras, and I'm from Chennai, obviously. But being from Chennai, I call myself a Madrasi.
Mhm.
So somebody once, and I live in Bangalore, so somebody asked me today, saying, "What is more of a town that's unacceptable of outsiders?" And I was giving my point of view, but somebody said, in Chennai, when I said I'm from Jharkhand, and this boy was from Jharkhand, he said, man, they give me a lot of respect. They immediately said, oh, you're Dhoni boy, come into the auto. It's not 200 rupees for you, it's 150 rupees. That's how big Dhoni was. It was, I think, and this is true of IPL in general, I think we're accepting of other people. One of the things I love is Virat is a Delhi boy, but he's become Bangalorean. Uh, Ishan Kishan is not from Hyderabad, but Hyderabadis love Ishan Kishan from UP. I think there's this multiculturalism
Mhm.
that's come up with IPL. I think that's very important for us. The reason why I'm saying this, and I don't mean to put Chennai down on this, I think Chennai needed it. The problem with Chennai, when I say Chennai, I mean Tamil Nadu, and I mean for all your fans in Madurai, Coimbatore, Erode, Salem, everywhere, right? Uh, I think sometimes we forget that there are people from other parts of the country, and I love it that Dhoni changed that. Here is somebody from Jharkhand, and if you had to name all the states in the country, probably Jharkhand was the one state that you would forget. And I love it that now Jharkhand is the first state. So this acceptance of other people, we're building racial, we're debuilding, we're destroying racial divides. I think it's very important, and I don't think you will ever understand that if you haven't come to Madras. Come to Madras, and I'm saying this to all your viewers, right? Come to Madras, get into an auto, and say I'm from Jharkhand just for the hell of it, and you will get a ride for free, right? I think that's the overall social impact Dhoni has had. But from a cricketing perspective, we've always had cricketing heroes in Chennai. We've loved all the way from Sunil Gavaskar. Sunil Gavaskar loved playing here.
Mhm.
Gundapal Vishwanath, being from Bangalore, loved playing here. Uh, I don't know about Kapil Dev. Sachin loved this ground. Sehwag loved this ground.
Mhm.
Dhoni is obviously here. We've been cricket fans, but I think the biggest credit to this is our acceptance of outsiders. Going back to something that I said earlier, one of the first cheers that I ever heard in Chennai was Bollinger. You remember the name? Doug
Dougie
Bollinger?
Bollinger. Mhm.
Entire crowd hearing Bollinger, Bollinger. I think that's what it means to Chennai. I know I didn't answer your question from a cricketing perspective, but for me, the social acceptance of these people, uh,
Mhm.
if you don't mind, I would also just like to deviate just for like about 30 seconds on this,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
L. Sivaramakrishnan, Chennai boy,
Mhm.
came out recently and spoke about him being darker colored. Very, very Chennai boy again. And him being I think racist, right? The racist term is used very differently because it has a different term in the West than it has over here. But discriminated against his color or made fun of, right? He came up and he said people made fun of him because here he was, somebody was looking very dark and would not accept it in the Indian team. I'm very proud of, and by the way, that does exist in our country. And from being from Madras, I accept that it does happen in our city. But I would love to say that IPL, Dhoni, and the foreigners like Mike Hussey, Hayden, Dwayne Bravo, and a lot of them who played for us have actually changed. And I think that's the biggest impact. So, not sure if I answered you, but I think this was a point that I wanted to make.
No, no, you have answered majorly, but I would still like to ask you, Vivas, that uh, has CSK not been able to move on from Dhoni, because this is what has been going on since
Ew,
last
but
many
why do we need
years.
to move on from Dhoni? He's still there.
But then he has not been performing, and in fact, there was a time when he was almost not playing. In not bat not coming to bat, coming as low as number
Fair
seven
enough.
number in last 2 3 years. So is it that that just his presence in the field is what is required by the Chennai franchisee, or because there are always these talks going on that that probably he should make way now for the younger generation to come. But then it said that CSK feels that their commercial value will take a hit
Yeah.
if Dhoni moves on from now. So that's what I
So,
wanted you to talk a little bit about that.
so I think you nailed it right there in the last thing that you said, right? Uh, at the end of the day, we're sports fans, me and you, and I think most people who are watching you are sports fans. But the people who own this are business owners, and I don't have a problem with that because you do need to run it as a business. Uh, and I think one of the things that happened over the years was Dhoni was a marketing magic. Like he was God-given marketing magic, right?
Mm.
Dhoni could come out in a wheelchair at 60, stadiums would fill up, fans would be there, advertisings would flow, whatever. But I think, uh, and I'm saying this in the nicest way to the CSK management, I think they got it right. And I think they realized that the transition had to be made. I will point out to something on this, right? In the last 5 years, there was never a mega event that came up before the IPL from CSK, right? There was never like, oh, this is going to be our year, whatever, even though there were years that we won.
Mm.
But I think we had one of the greatest events. If you had been there, you would have noticed how big that event was. It was called Roar 26.
Mm-hmm.
It was an amazing event. And the event was headlined by obviously Dhoni and uh, Sivakarthikeyan. Sivakarthikeyan is one of the biggest actors. But I think what you would love to hear about it is they didn't do it in the last 4 years. They did it now because they realized I think it was a time for transition. And I think it is time that Dhoni passed on the battalion. And I think they noticed it as it could potentially be Rutraj, it could potentially be Sanju Samson, but it had to be passed on. But they also realized it wasn't going to be Jadeja. So let's be honest. They're not, I think they're a smart enough organization to realize that not everything that they do is right.
Mm.
They're a very good sports management organization. And they got it right. They created for the first time one of the biggest events. And I think they got it right. And I think the battalion is being passed on. And I think Dhoni is slowly being shown the door. When I say shown the door, I mean that in the politest way, right? We have the impact substitute rule. Dhoni is injured right now. And I don't mean like that's the door, go. I think they will deal with it very well. I believe in them on that. And I'm happy that they do it that way. I'm not sure other organizations will do it that way. Uh, the only other thing that I will say in this regard is CSK could have done this perhaps earlier, perhaps a year earlier. But in CSK's opinion, they said they would have got it right after the World Cup with Sanju.